been twice in World War II in less than 5 years, so I'd like to know which one was harder, David Ayers or Tarantino's?
Well, they're both entirely distinctly different gestalts. You know, of course, there was more fun to be had on on Tarantino's, and more humor certainly. But this one is a much rawer, visceral focus on what soldiers endure in conflict.
And also, you become the father of this weird family of men. It's a character that's very usual in your last movies. Why do you think is that? That they put you in the position of the family guy?
Well, you know, yes, he is. The character is the Ten Commanders, so it's his responsibility is their morale to make sure they're all functioning. Because if the tanker has to be a machine, and if one cog fails, they're not going home. So it's his responsibility to get that right. I was quite comfortable in the role.
Yeah,
I'm sure 6 kids helped me with that in training. But we got really tight on this thing. And we were one big dysfunctional family, certainly. On and off the screen.
Also, very quick, as a Spanish, I'm very proud that Juan Antonio Bayona is going to direct World War II. So
World War Z too.
World War Z too, yeah, World War II.
Yes.
And how do you see it see him for the role?
I just think he's one of those guys out there doing really special, really unique and specific work.
Well, they're gonna see
He's doing his own thing, and for us who were paying attention, we're really impressed. So we were really excited that he'd come on with us.
So you like to do a lot of sports, but this movie had a lot of pre-production, boot camp. How did you feel in that part of the preparation of the movie, since you are one of the feeders of the group?
Yeah, I think it was much less physical, the boot camp that we did, and much more emotional, psychological, because you're given tasks that you can't accomplish. They're built for failure, right? And you don't know that going in if you've never been to boot camp. They're designed for you to fail, so that you learn to depend on the men around you, and it's about building a team. So it's about ripping you apart so you don't feel like you can do it of your own volition. And it's about building the team up so that you feel that the only way you can succeed is with the group. So I think it was far more psychological and emotional than sports or athletics.
And also, I think you are doing now a movie about a war veteran.
Mm-hmm.
So did it change this movie your vision, or since your family are a lot of war veterans, do you have it already in your mind?
Yeah, my father has post-traumatic stress disorder. His father had post-traumatic stress disorder. I think after doing this movie, I have post-traumatic stress disorder, genuinely. And so that informs my next job, which is about a person who has post-traumatic stress disorder. So this has been both, yes, doing this job is one piece, but it's also informed the next job as well. So I feel quite prepared for the next gig.
Did you put a lot of your past in the Navy in this film?
My own experiences in the military are in the screen a bit. I understand what it's like to work inside of a closed, cramped environment. I know what it's like to work alongside other people for a long time. The culture of the military is very different from the civilian world, and just like in a tank unit, you can't pick your family, you can't choose who you're going to fight with in the tank. And so that intimacy and that understanding of the psychology of the military is very important to me.
And also, it was announced recently that you're going to direct Suicide Squad, and I assume that you can tell anything, but how do you feel to enter this big world?
It's a privilege. I've been a comic book fan since I was a little kid. I used to sit in the library for hours and just read comic books. And so I want to bring my filmmaking style and my sense of realism to the DC comic world. I couldn't be prouder to go and work for Warner Brothers.
Well, you're the youngest of the group. Did these guys treat you different or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they treated me. I mean, it's not because I was the youngest; it's because I was the new guy, and I was playing the guy who was a liability to their, to their safety, and so I was treated like the new guy every day. Yeah, so.
Well, I've seen you before going to salute the audience. How are you dealing with being more and more recognizable?
I don't know. I have very polite, respectful fans that aren't really. It's not much of a difference in my life. There hasn't been much of a change, except occasionally people want to take a photo or something like that. But it's nothing too crazy. I don't got people, hanging out in front of my house and doing weird shit.
And the last two films that we saw has been Fury and Noah, two pretty intense shootings. Are you taking a break or are you going to the next adventure?
I'm just waiting for a good filmmaker to collaborate with. That's all that I want to do, and I think I know what I want to do, but hopefully we'll be talking about it soon or sometime. Yeah, I don't know yet.
You do a lot of boxing, and they told us that David Ayer made you fight for bonding. Did you teach them some sparring movements, or were they tough guys?
Everybody, it's not about it's not about tough. It's not about who can beat up who. That's not what the sparring. That's not what it's about. You find out everything about a guy by the way you fight with him. If I'm fighting against somebody who's weaker than me or not as experienced as I am, you can learn everything by whether I take it easy on them, whether I bully them, whether I'm cool with them, and then whether somebody I'm fighting who's better than me, how I react to that. You learn so much. There's no lying in fighting. I think what the fighting was a way to fast forward the process of us getting to know each other very intimately. And once you've been through that with people, there's a bond. There's a bond. You've actually been through something, and it was a first initial step, but a very, very important step.
And also, your character is the one that takes worse the arrival of Logan Lerman's character, but in the end, you gone pretty well. So, how was the relationship of both of you on set?
With Logan?
With Logan, yeah.
I love Logan. I love all these guys. These guys are all my brothers, but I think with Logan, I think it was hardest on him. Being the new guy, he went through a lot. He was constantly, part of the deal was we had to make him feel like the new guy. I had to make him feel unwelcome. We were hard on him. We were brutal with him. He's, I'll say of anyone here, I think he was the one who impressed me the most because some really bad stuff happened to him, and over a long period of time, he never broke down. He never complained. He's a tough guy. He's in a movie with guys all much older than him, much bigger than him, and he never had a problem. He kept moving forward, and I love that guy.
And last, what's more difficult, to fight Nazis or to fight zombies?
I don't know. If you have a tank, it's the best. Yeah.
Talking about
David Ayer.
David Ayer, but he likes to put you in very dangerous and weird situations. So, how is your friendship going along?
Oh yeah,
I think
it's an interesting relationship because I'm like, it's almost like he likes to see me suffer. You know what I mean? He's a funny guy, but he wrote me a great part. And my favorite part was the dinner scene.
got solidified.
That was a very tough part to do, but it was, he's a great writer and he's a great director, and I'm like, I definitely would like to work with him again, but and it's good, because he's a buddy now. It's nice that he has success, hopefully this movie does well for him and he can do other movies.
And also, you represent Latin Americans in World War II, and we haven't seen pretty nothing of that. How do you feel about it?
Great. I feel really good. It's an honor for sure. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Latin Americans that fought for. I think it's somewhere close to like 500,000.
Yeah, I think
that's a lot. And for them to be acknowledged is always nice.
It was unbelievable.
I said it before, but I'm like, the one thing that it's kind of a fear of anyone is to be forgotten. Like their life was for nothing.
Understand
so
how
this is like my
formidable
little-
that is. And